Welcome to the fourth video of my King Cab restoration. From the outside, nothing has changed. It's wearing its street boots because I want to drive it today for a test run, but the changes are under the hood, in the very literal sense of the word. So this little box houses the GPS unit that actually provides real speed for the driver display. I want to show you how it's done. In my attempt to only use existing screw holes wherever possible, this box is mounted to the screw holes of the body posts. So what you see here is a second Arduino that actually copes just with the data coming from this GPS unit. And the reason being is the main Arduino that actually drives the display has no resources left to process the GPS data. So in principle, it works like this. The GPS unit is streaming data to the GPS Arduino. This one parses the data, and here I'm cheaping out a bit because I'm not actually sending GPS data or actual speed towards the display Arduino. I'm using a so-called PWM signal, which is very similar to how a servo or ESC is controlled. So what it does is it's translating the speed of the car into the width of this PWM signal, and on the other end, the Arduino translates it back to a speed. This saves a lot of resources, but it's not an exact science, so there is some wiggle room, but from what I can see, it's fairly accurate. So when I powered the system up, the blue LED just went dark, which is a signal that GPS data is coming from the GPS device. And the red LED shows that this GPS data has no lock to the satellites. This is simply because I'm indoors now and there will never be a lock here. So the idea is when everything is okay, all lights are off. I don't want to have any extra light, but I'm getting some indications of what's going on. And I made this in a way that I can actually replace this GPS panel. When I see the blue light shining, I know this GPS unit is gone and I can simply replace it with a new one. Okay, closing it up, making it ready for the ride. The second big invisible update is concerning the main display computer. So these are my first attempts, and I mean they work. There's nothing wrong about it, but they look handmade and I thought I don't like this. So I taught myself how to design these kind of PCBs, and yeah, it worked out beautifully. Even these mounting holes came exactly to my specifications and I just need to screw that in. And of course, when I populate this kind of board, it just looks way better than what I can do by soldering all the wires by hand. And the good thing is I directly planned some extension headers here, and these already offer the connection to the GPS unit. Of course, all this hardware needs some software. And what you see here is my up-to-date test rig. It's just a model of what is in the car minus the GPS. And the way an Arduino works is it can be powered by two sources. One is directly via the USB, and the other is an external power source. And when I power the Arduino just with the USB, it enters a setup mode. So number one, I can say, do I use a 4-channel or 3-channel remote? This is how to switch the display modes. Do I have an extra button for this or not? So I use this test rig with a 4-channel remote. Is the option button a toggle switch or a trigger? And here I calibrate the voltage measurement, and it's done in a fairly simple way. In the setup mode, when I enter a number here, the next time it is powered with the external power source, it just assumes that whatever voltage is measured now is the value I enter here. And I just measured my battery at 12.3 volts. And here I have an alert system. So I say just start the alert at 6 volts. And here I can say, please activate the GPS unit. Yes, this is correct. Now, when I'm powering up the Arduino using the external battery, the Arduino enters its calibration cycle and sets the correct voltage. Now it's waiting for the remote to come online. It searches for this signal coming from the GPS unit, which isn't present, so I'm getting this error message here. And therefore it automatically switches back to the usual fake show of moving dials. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know where I'm going next. GPS was one of my dreams, seeing actual speed in the car. But for sure, as soon as warmer outside, I want to bring the car out and make a big video, a big driving one in the dirt and really let it run. But for now, it's just a bit too cold and wet and winter.